Hello everyone, I'm Ronald Mehta and welcome back to marketing91.com. We provide management and marketing training to students and professionals worldwide through our courses, videos and community. This video is part of our comprehensive take on the gamut of human resource management. Let's take a stab at the gamut of human resource planning. Human resource planning is a technique to maintain a stable pipeline of qualified employees whilst maintaining the pitfalls of employee surplus or employee deficit. Human resource planning provides substantial leverage to a business to maintain and spot the perfect talent to be employed in the firm. Well, there are two sides to human resource planning. First, ways to handle employee surplus as an excess, and ways to handle employee shortage as a deficit. Let's take a stab at ways to handle employee surplus first. Starting with an example, Google wants to reduce its spending on employee benefits, which ultimately will lead to employees quitting and finding other firms. So you shed your weight without actually finding employees. Google used to be known for having a vibrant and exciting working environment. However, it is now shifting its approach to employee benefits. So there may be other steps to tighten the purse strings at the firm. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, warned the staff not to mistake enjoyment for gain. A number of other major companies have also been severely impacted by the global economic recession, including this internet giant. People who attended the latest Google Town Hall event took advantage of the chances to express their complaints, notably regarding what they perceive to be the business's practice of nickel and diming employees, a strict one. Google has been open and honest as to its challenges in recent months. For the second consecutive year, in July 2022, the corporation announced earnings and sales that were below expectations. Moving further, while reminding its staff, which I said, we don't get to choose the macroeconomic conditions always. That's an indirect warning. Google created the Simplicity Sprint initiative to gather suggestions from employees on how to reduce waste and how to get better outcomes quicker in order to solve this issue. So now let's look at other generic ways to handle employee surplus, starting with the first one, pause the hiring process. Companies should give time to the senior staff to get their employees in line. They should halt the onboarding till then. Some sections can have more employees than needed. They can be realigned to other parts of the organization that do not have sufficient employees or other branches across the state or country. The responsibility should be split. This way, no employee is overburdened and you do not have excess staff. At number 2, keep outsourcing at bay. It helps to place the workload on the employee without raising costs too much, as an outsourcing can be a cost for the company. The employees who are in overstaffed departments can help in making the company self-sufficient. This tactic can only be used when there are internal employees with the same level of training and compensation as those who work for the outsourcing firm. At number 3, lower the wage scale. If there is a drop in wages, then it demotivates the workforce and they ultimately quit. If there are more employees than required, then it can adversely strain the workforce, as we all know. The work can be shifted to subsidiaries, raking in revenue or other group firms. The workers can move to group firms. They can also move to other department or a subsidiary firm. At number 4 is the layoff. A trend that has picked up worldwide post the startups started losing traction post-COVID. Layoff policy is shaped by individual cases. Alternatively, it can be done collectively or according to rank or employment period. The famous layoffs that we've seen worldwide have happened at Google, Meta and Microsoft. At number 5, Program for Voluntary Retirement Scheme, which is prevalent in countries like India. A voluntary retirement scheme can greatly help in lowering the number of additional workers. Retrenchment of workers in a labor union is prohibited by Indian laws. That is the reason behind the popularity of voluntary retirement in the country. That is, an employee is given the option of taking a retirement much before the retirement age. Known as VRS, it is usually restricted to people who are at least 40 years old and have completed a decade of working with the firm. The directors of a cooperative or company are debarred from the scheme. Otherwise, the rest of the staff, including the executive level employees, are allowed to participate in a VRS. So it's an option given by the company to the employee to take up the scheme. Moving on to the other side, that is ways to handle employee shortage. Well, the best example in this case is of Apple, which paid about $200,000 to its engineers as a retention bonus so that they don't leave the firm and they can tackle the shortage of employees. Apple has been granting its employees stock bonuses in recent years to prevent the poaching of engineering talent from rivals like Meta. Facing competitor Meta in a chase to retain the best talent, Apple is doing its best to keep its employees. Some Apple engineers in design, hardware and operations received about $180,000 in total in bonuses in December 2021. Engineers from both software and hardware divisions stand to gain from Apple's robust retention policy, which includes stock bonuses. Now let's look at some other ways of handling employee shortage. Number 1, Pretty straightforward, hire new employees. Organizations should acquire professionals whether on a long or short-term basis. Temporary workers need to be hired and this can be cost-intensive. Conversely, they are more adaptable. At number 2, redesign your jobs and create new employment within the company. Jobs can be restructured to make them more fulfilling. Redesigning increases the productivity of the organization. It can reshape its procedures while assigning labor force for various actions. It is, however, cost-intensive. At number 3, as we saw, attractive retention strategies. Retention policies can help maintain talent. This can be done through efficient communication, shorter weeks, something that's been practiced in UK right now, selecting interviews and adaptable work hours. At number 4, predicting manpower supply. Manpower supply is based on various things. This includes ability, experience, and qualified based compensation. It is also dependent on technological innovations, literacy rate, etc. Predicting manpower supply involves replacement charts, skill sets, staffing tables, and succession ideas. Moving on to number 5, in-house transfers are also known as IJPs. Suppose there are too many workers in one department. In that case, they can be shifted to a different branch so that an equal workforce is available to every section. At number 6, putting more workload on your current staff. This should be the last resort. There are certain ways to deal with lack of sufficient workers. This includes adding excess workload to their task. Now let's look at the benefits of human resource planning. First, long-term manpower requirements. Strategic human resource planning means the staff can ensure that the company runs efficiently and properly. It ensures that the staff can keep doing what the organization wants to do in the future. It also analyzes the human resource inventory. This is very important in industries where the attrition rate is very high, especially the IT industry. Next, adaptability. Strategic human resource planning is crucial to ensure the developments in the external environment can be responded to very well. It also allows the company to respond to changes in economic, social, cultural, political, and technological aspects. Next, onboarding of trained professionals. Strategic human resource planning helps spot the necessary abilities for multiple layers of the firm. The workforce should function efficiently and well. This requires the development and training of the employee base. And finally, effectively implementing human resource policies. Strategic human resource planning is used to employ the workers in a way that targets are met. It determines their employment as well. It tries to keep the operational costs at a minimum by using human resource to the best of its ability. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic of human resource planning. These are the list of sources and links referred to for our content in the video. Thank you and stay tuned for more videos.